Final count. 3, 2.
Anytime.
What's up, guys? Our wrestling podcast coming back at you with another episode. This is Dave Vicious, along with Just a Little Package, and Craig the Bitch Bulldog, bringing you our perspective on the world of professional wrestling. Why'd you say that? No inside source, no ties to the industry, just stories from the diehards, sharing opinions with you. Today's topic: what happened to the Young Stallions? For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud. No, not SoundCloud. We'll just take that out. And iHeartRadio. And for video, check us out on YouTube at our wrestling channel. And also, you can look to your left at Jess's spontaneous and lovely video options that he's just so graciously put out for us. And please give us a follow to really upset him at O.W.P 2019. Guys, Young Stallions were a lot of fun.
Wow.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Young Stallions for the first time.
Yes, Young Stallions. They were, so there was, I don't know, was it probably just because we were young and it's nostalgia. But for some odd reason, I feel like every team or like mid-card team and or single superstar was like bigger than everyone today. I don't know why I feel that way, even though it's totally not true. But like I just remember like because, you know, we were 10 to 14 years old when we like lived through the late 80s, early 90s wrestling. And I felt everything was great, even though it was just because I was too young, I didn't know any better. But yeah, like even the mid card tag teams, like the Young Stallions, like to me they're like stars. Like even though most people don't even know who they are anymore. Killer Bees, same thing. Like these big tag teams that never won tag titles at all, like were like such a major part of our childhood. So I don't know why I picked them. I think that what happened too is kind of designed for like the Young Stallions. Like what happened to them? We don't hear them anymore. One of my favorite what happened to's that we've ever done was Paul Roma, and it got the most feedback and the most engagement on social media because people were like, "Yeah, that's a real like what happened to." And sometimes I do abuse it and put it to people that we think fall short of a legacy, and by that I mean haven't won like a world title, so I don't include them. But like really, what happened to is for Paul Roma, the Young Stallions, like people like that.
Yeah. I mean, they had perfect bodies, right? Like they were always oiled up. They were muscular. They had these like thin, the short, like red tights. They had the bodies. There's no reason why they should. And they had the athletic superpower between them. Like the Jim Powers always got rewarded for his drop kick by commentary. And yet they never kind of got past that lower mid-card range. I think they had a couple Survivor Series matches. They were always, you saw them every week, but man, they just didn't quite get past that mid-lower level of tag teams.
That motherfucker pillaged all the territories and had so much talent that such a fine-oiled tag team and a great-looking tag team like the Young Stallions were full-on mid-carders in the tag division. Not just like in the singles division. In the tag division, their tag team division was so big and it was so on fire that they had a mid card in their tag division. Like,
which doesn't happen. Yeah,
dude. It's the same 4 teams now in every brand on Raw and SmackDown that do the same.
They would have been champions in any territory.
Oh my God! Right now they would be champions. Right now if they came along.
Anywho, Paul Roma was such a good-looking, athletic, strong physique young man, had good charisma, good confidence in there. He had been used as enhancement talent before the Stallions push, and we got Jim Powers, the other half of it.
James. He likes you if you call him James.
Oh, Jamie Powers. It was Jamie Powers.
James,
right? James Powers.
James Powers.
He's strong, athletic build, often featured on TV, just losing to bigger names, quite the prelim. He clearly had potential. I don't know if we ever saw a promo cut. If you guys did, I would love for you to put it like right here. James Powers.
All I know is that when we had our Backyard Wrestling Federation, our favorite prelim, Jess, would you like to say who your character was and the inspiration behind it?
Jim Powers was the inspiration. I was Ted Powers. My dad's first name is Ted. And so I took his Elks Logs jacket, which said Ted right on the front. And so I wore it to the ring, and my prelim name was Ted Powers. And so, Jim Powers.
And it wasn't an homage to Jim per se, but it was an homage to everyone that wore those like satin jackets to the ring that was already in the ring.
Yeah.
Jess's dad's Elks Lodge jacket was the perfect satin, like zippable, already in the ring. It was so good.
Yeah,
we were so ahead of our times.
Every face prelim wore just like a jacket that they would take off.
Well, that team formed, in 1987. They were put together quietly. It wasn't a big thing. They were all sudden just together.
Shut up. shut up.
No official branding. But they started winning some matches. You know, they actually started doing stuff on, I would say, what you call house shows, which culminated into Saturday morning, Sunday morning wrestling. You would see them win some matches. They were eventually named the Young Stallions, likely to appeal to the younger fans as
stupid,
energetic underdogs.
Like, it's so stupid. It is fucking stupid. Like, really, when you think about
it. The horse on the T-shirt.
There was no thought into that, and it was just like these guys are young, and they always call young athletes studs, right? Like, so it's just like they're just like, man, you guys are the Young Stallions, huh? And they're like, wow, you're telling me.
Or Vince was just like, Italian. You guys look like wops. Stallions. Get out of my office.
By the way,
that was racist, but I was being in character.
You're being Vince.
So
yeah,
I apologize.
Craig alluded to this a minute ago. Like, their biggest win was like Survivor Series 1987. This was a 10 tag team elimination match. So you're talking. I'm trying to recall.
If you were front row for Survivor Series of that match,
you couldn't see a fucking thing.
You just saw Bolshevik ass.
Yeah,
you
Bolshevik ass. Lots of tights and hairy thighs that didn't.
And they
get
all
shaved.
had to lean back on the rope whenever anyone whipped to the rope. Like all 10 guys had to go,
so they can whip properly.
So they hit the ropes properly. It was the dumbest thing.
By the way, if someone like Randy Orton was in that, he would have snapped the rope on. He would have like, oh, sorry, playing a gimmick.
Yeah,
on him.
Am I doing the math right? That means there's 20 people.
Yeah,
right.
Not in the ring. Yeah, so there's 18. Right. Yeah, there's only 2 in there.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Right. So 18 people on the outside of the
No. 16 on the outside. Because there's
only 2 can be in the ring, and then if you lost, you probably had to leave.
Yeah.
So in the beginning part of your team.
Yeah. Before A Team was eliminated, they had 18 people on the fucking outside of that ring, where the camera had to shoot in from the hard camera, like for most of the opening part of the match.
It was the shittiest of shit shows. I remember watching this match, and I don't know how anybody could. You might as well just had a lumberjack. Is kind of what it was. It was a lumberjack, but everybody
it was a lumberjack, except they blocked your view of the ring.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So they're on the apron. Yeah,
it was literally. Insane. If they had any thought, they would have like tagged at the bottom, like just had them stand like a lumberjack. But it was stupid.
Yeah. And then finally on the third year of Survivor Series, Vince was like, that's enough of that shit. And then they stopped doing the tag team. And then he realized, like, I'm bloating my payroll. I don't need that many people. Like, I could just take tag teams and make it teams of 4, and that's half of a team. So if you have a tag team on your team, you just need 2 other singles, and there's your Survivor Series team. Like,
men all over the ring. We certainly do. Too many guys in there. A lot of them outside now. And look at this. From the outside with the mascot. Wait, who is that? That's the Raw Killer Bee. That's not the legal man inside the ring. That's me, Brian Blair.
Here are the remaining survivors, the Young Stallions and the Killer Bee.
Let's get in.
They were just one of the surviving teams. I don't even think they got the final pinfall.
No, it was the Killer Bees. The 2 surviving teams were the Killer Bees and the Young Stallions. They beat the Islanders.
That's so weird.
Which it's weird. Like, Islanders were like the new team, like for Heenan. And I remember watching this as a kid, not knowing what happened, going, oh man, the Islanders are just going to beat the Bees and then because they're pushing them. Even as a young kid, I knew, these are a featured team. Because I think at the time I rented the tape, they were feuding with the Bulldogs. So I was like, oh, the Islanders have to win this. And they didn't. Like, and the Killer Bees did fucking bee magic and did the mask thing and like cheated to win. And like, I'll never forget, like on a pay-per-view, the Young Stallions and Killer Bees were like, like just like fucking, they bullied a heel team and won. I'll never forget it. Like that was their.
Oh, my side. Oh, my ribs.
They all had to have been like, this is it for us, right? Like this is our biggest moment, right?
Soak it in, or they could have been like stupidly like, soak it in. This is the beginning.
Yeah. Next stop, World Tag Titles.
Next stop, WrestleMania. No, what?
Yeah. So some people thought there was a real push coming, but there was.
Looks like we're being a strike force. No? Like
they what's weird, they actually did score some wins against they scored some wins over the Hart Foundation when that foundation was a heel on Superstars in primetime. They were scrappy baby faces, man. People were responding. And then they were seen as the next generation of clean cut tags. They had good chemistry. They were used as a foil to heal teams like the Islanders, Bolsheviks, and the Rougeos. So what happened, right? Backstage politics, lack of charisma. Paul Roma reportedly clashed with people backstage, known for having a bit of an ego. But wasn't the Warrior around at this time? Just saying. I mean, what are you talking about?
If you did see both of them back here, they were roided out, man. These fucking guys, like Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
especially Roma.
I would agree with this statement. Jim Powers had issues on the mic. He really couldn't carry that through. It's funny. I believe if you give Paul Roma time, which they did, WCW, he was really good on the mic, and he did a lot of great work after WWF.
And you'd always heard that Paul Roma, and through his career in WCW and his podcast, is more out there in front than Jim Powers, and Paul Roma was the problem. But the more kind of you hear in podcasts, the digger you deep. Jim Powers, although he was always just a quintessential like enhancement talent, he actually still was kind of a pain in the ass too, which made me laugh so hard. It's like, how could Jim Powers be a pain in the ass too?
Shut up. I don't believe it.
But apparently he kind of was also. So you imagine having those two guys, and they're just like, we don't care. You are too much trouble. Just take the
gotta go.
Yeah, both those guys it doesn't make sense to me as a young stallion. Like, why would we go over?
Why would we lose to Demolition? I'm like, because.
Well, that's where I was going. Like, you had these big gimmicks like Demolition, the Heart Foundation, the Bulldogs.
It's ridiculous.
And the Stallions were like
these things are goddamn ridiculous. I'd be more mad if I was them now, going like, God, why couldn't we have been born 5 years later, and came up in the sport in the mid '90s? They come around, we'd be putting them in the Hall of Fame. We'd be celebrating 8-time tag team champions, the Young Stallions. Man, we would just be so excited.
Right. Yeah,
I mean, it's true. Yeah, we've lost the last 5 TV tapings, but I think this will really put us over on the pay-per-view if we can beat the Conquistadors. Please,
it's good. It's good money, right? But if you were looking to get on top, right, and you really did have an ego where you thought you were better than most of the others, your heart was broken when you get into the WWF.
Yeah.
And even Crockett in 86, 87 was still this grinder that would spit you out. You had the Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express, the fucking Road Warriors over there. You had the Fabulous Freebirds. You had so many tag teams on the other side, and you were just Paul Walker and the Italian Stallion, and you're just we have no chance. We have no chance.
And they had bodies, and yes, they were kind of similar. They looked exactly the same as Strike Force, but there's no reason why you couldn't push them. And the only reason probably they didn't have a shot bigger than that Survivor Series match was probably their attitude, or Vince didn't trust them.
They came around too late. Like I said, they're ahead of their time. They're actually late in that time because Tom Zink and Rick Martel were going to get the push. Good. Zink's I'm worth a $20 billion contract as a singles wrestler. And Vince is like, I'm sorry, who?
No,
and then he said, bye. And then Tom Zink left and Martel stayed.
Me, Z-Man. You know Z-Man?
TZ. And he's like, that's even dumber. Get out. And so he leaves. And then, so they still got Martel, who is a former AWA heavyweight champion. And then Vince is like, we're not. And then now Martel's like, now's my time for a singles run. And Vince was like, no, it's not. I'm going to take Santana, who I'm also not doing anything with, and you're going to just fucking take the place of, he's going to take the place of Tom Zink, and then Strike Force is formed, and they win the goddamn tag titles. And Young Stallions are like, wait, so we should have worn white trunks and not red? That's all that happened. It's fuck. They had the same jackets as Strike Force. They had red tie. Everything was red with the Young Stallions, and then with Strike Force it was just white. And I'm like, no, you guys fucked up.
Something tells me that Brother Love had everything to do with those jackets. Just saying, had to be fucking Brother Love. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Oh man. Well, they missed it.
Right.
They missed the boat. Sad.
Like I said, they lost interest. The WWF did in '88. They quietly stopped getting wins. They were appearing less frequently on the box. They were enhancement talent when they did. Their final tag match was around 1989. And then we get the fun stuff. Well, this is fun for me. It's Paul Roma's second act. We talk about repackaging as Power and Glory with Hercules in 1990, which was a much more successful memorial. Wow, it is memorial. It's gone. But it was a memorable tag team. If I recall correctly, I think Roma was in the ring with Jim Powers. And Jim Powers, they obviously got beaten, pinned. I think Jim Powers left the ring. Roma got left on his own.
No, it wasn't actually Jim Powers. It was another prelim. And then
it was just somebody else.
Yeah, they got beat. I don't remember what tag team beat them. And then the prelim did leave.
The Rockers came out.
Yeah, the prelim did leave, and Roma was still being helped up by the referee. Because whatever team that beat him, I think, blindsided him with something and cheated or something like that. And then and then the Rockers come down, which is odd. Like Rockers are like, what's going on?
They're coming out. They're coming out for the next match. They're gonna have the next.
And then
match.
Hercules runs in there and he's like, "That's my friend Roman." I'm like, "What? Where did you come from? Like, what happened?" Like, it was such a weird pairing that they just shoehorned.
Wait, are you talking about this is how the Young Stallions broke up and became Power and Glory?
No, it's how Power and Glory. They had been broken up for a bit. Paul Roma was still sticking around.
It's how Power and Glory came around, but. The funny thing is that the Rockers actually dropped kicked out of the ring and had their match, and then later on, like they.
But the odd thing is both Jim Powers and Paul Roma were still in the company. Like it's not like one left. They split them up.
They never talked about
it.
And
then they were just both prelims that were getting beaten by more established stars, and then out of nowhere they're like, "What's Roma doing?" Well, we've been beating him every week. Oh, let's put him with Hercules. Oh.
Maybe Roma figures it was the Rockers that submarine. No, not hardly. How do you know? He's been knocked out.
I don't know if he was knocked out or not. Whoa! What is this? What's going down here, Jesse?
I don't know, but the mighty Hercules coming into Roma's defense here.
Hercules is hot, so is Roma. We're supposed to have a match here with the Rockers.
You don't want to re-put him with Jim Powers and turn him heel or something? No, we don't. Not really.
Sometimes two horses don't deserve to live in the same barn.
And then, are you sure you don't want to do it?
Years before Jim Ross, by the way.
You don't want to put a singles push on Paul Roma? No, we want to put him in another tag team. Okay, all right. Like what?
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do with James?
By the way, it was good, man.
He's going to get his ass kicked every week for months at a time.
Yeah. Power and Glory were fantastic. Had a great finisher. I've talked about it way too much.
Wait, what was the...
wow, you're telling me that?
Jesus, what? Wait, I didn't even realize this. What was the Young Stallions finisher?
Oh my God, I don't know.
I don't think they had one.
I don't know. I have no idea. It was not the double drop kick.
That might be a problem, right? If
was
you
it double drop kick? I don't know.
It had to be a double drop kick. It had to be.
I'm looking it up right now.
Please be a double hip toss. I swear to God.
It's a double drop kick.
It's a double hip toss into like a double elbow drop. And what was I going to say? So my first ever house show was March of 1992. First ever time I ever got to see wrestling live. House show. And on that house show was Jim Powers losing to the Repo Man. Jim Powers was on my very first.
Okay, I don't believe this at all. They're trying to say that the Young Stallions. This is AI. This is how I know AI is horseshit.
It's a spike pile driver. I'm like, it was not.
Yeah.
No, they're trying to say it's called the Powerplex. They're saying it was a combination of Roma hitting a rope top splash after Powers delivered a superplex. That's not true.
It's Power
That
and
is
Glory.
not true.
That's Power and Glory's thunder.
That's Power and Glory. AI sucks.
Watch we go
Thank
back.
you for making our electricity bills 200% over AI for that bullshit. Appreciate it.
That's what I'm getting out of this. You can't even give me.
Watch we go back and it is in fact that. I'm like, what the fuck? Like they're just using it. And I'm like, what? How did we forget?
Let's welcome our guest, Jim Powers, in the fourth square.
He comes in the fourth square.
It's two people you slap together. That it's just because we come from two different worlds. That's my opinion as to why it didn't work out. There was going to be a clash there. I couldn't relate to being being 26 or 27 years old and having a 2-story townhouse in Connecticut. I just couldn't relate to that. So, and I'm sure he couldn't relate to where I came from. Why Jim would wear jeans and why Paul would wear slacks with a crease in them and nice shoes. But that's Paul. And I'm sure if we have the mentality that we had then, like a lot of people would say, if I have the mentality now, if I had the mentality then that I have now, it would have worked. It would have worked. We would have had the belts. That thing could have went for a long time, But there's no fault to Paul's. I have no ill will, no animosity towards Paul.
Yeah, I'll find it. We'll figure it out.
Oh, AI says Jim Powers died in 1935 in World War II. That makes sense. After powerplexing a German soldier on a U-boat. Oh, that's tragic. That is tragic.
It's funny because it's the Powerplex, which is a name of Power and Glory. But
he was on the U-boat, so he was summarily. surrounded and killed.
And by the way, Roma also got a shot at WCW, and he was very controversially introduced to the Four Horsemen in 1993, which I don't think was it's not the worst.
I don't care.
Are you talking about Roma?
Yeah, we did.
Roma.
Yeah, we did what
Roma.
happened to Roma, and I said in that episode, I was like, it was not a bad selection. They just booked him wrong. Like
it's execution after the fact.
He should have been booked to actually turn on Arn and Flair and become the new leader and dress sharp and all that stuff. But instead, they just fucking made him a face.
And then Flair could overcome. That
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like it did. They did
because Flair went back to face and heel all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's all he could do is just like it was entirely he had no idea.
He had enough of being face. He's like, I was already face with fucking the Young Stallions, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were a mid-card tag team in the late '80s, and I swear, they're in my memory. Like they're just around in my brain.
So whatever you say, Jim Powers had a much better nostalgic career after this. He stayed in the WWF as a solo jobber. Through the early '90s. Had a brief WCW run in the mid '90s, but he never broke through, and he left wrestling quietly. Didn't even kick and scream.
Yeah, Paul Roma, multiple-time tag team champions with Paul Orndorff and Arn Anderson.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Roma did go on and have some fun stuff, and Roma credits Mr. Fuji for all that. That's what I heard. That's on the podcast. You want to graduate? He cut somebody's hair on the plane. I can't remember the story. It was pretty funny. But anywho, why weren't they bigger? The biggest ones, lack of creative direction. But I'd also argue the bigger one is the overcrowded tag division. And the overcrowded tag division brings the next bullet point that just has your backstage reputation. If you're an overcrowded tag division and you're getting frustrated because you can't get wins and you can't get push, you're going to start getting shitty. Like, what are we doing? Let's do something else. This isn't working for me.
Or you're going to live that rock star lifestyle. They're two good-looking guys. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
They probably got anyone they wanted, on the road. So all they're thinking about is partying and doing whatever. All they have to do is wake up in the morning, work out for 2 goddamn hours, and sweat out all of the roids and the alcohol. And then they get back right, and then they go do their match, and then they do it all again. They hook up with whatever chick they want to because they're good-looking guys and huge. And then they fucking party all night, wake up the next morning, do the same thing. That's all there was to do.
Right.
It's easy to get in that repetition and then forget, oh, yeah, we got to get better in the ring.
It was actually Barry Horowitz who came to me and said, dude, I'm not working with you guys anymore. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he says, your partner, he just stinks of alcohol. He says, I'm putting my life in his hands. So I said, all right, fuck, dude. I'm like, I'll work the whole match, okay? We'll give him the comeback and call it a day. And that's what we did. And I said, I can't keep going at this pace. I'm getting beat up, not getting beat up. This is bullshit.
They didn't politic. There's a lot of people from that era and any boom period, by the way, that are going to cry foul. And I'm like, look, unfortunately, corporations or any place that we've worked, you have to be good, but then you also have to be good enough to know when to politic. And even if you don't like someone that's higher than you, you got to kind of make them like you a little bit. And I don't think that Young Stallions were a part of that. They just thought we're young, we're good looking, the crowd responds well, which in the 80s, the crowd responded to everybody well. I'm not selling their achievement short. I'm just saying that boom period of pro wrestling, again, we're talking about a mid-card tag team. When's the last time a tag team division's been big enough for that? Never this period that we're talking about.
Right.
Even during the Attitude Era. They were bigger than now, but you had just the top 4 teams. You didn't have a mid-card tag. Maybe you did. Maybe you had what is fucking Farouk and Bradshaw's name? God damn it.
Nation and Domination.
APA. Yeah, there you go. I don't know if I APA. I don't think they might have won one tag title or something like that, but that they were an upper mid card team in the Attitude Era because you had the New Age Outlaws, you had Edge and Christian, you had the Dudley Boys, you had the Hardy Boys. So maybe that kind of rivals this time, but not really. I feel the '80s tag team division was much deeper, and then having the competition as well, having all those people that I named before, Steiners, all of them, over on the other side. There was fucking 15 amazing tag teams, and then the Young Stallions.
And by the way, I found it on YouTube. I actually played it video, and their finisher was
double
one
headbutt.
would whip into the clothes, and it would be a power slam. So instead of you whipping them yourself, the tag guy would tag you in, whip him into the ropes, back off, and let the other guy power slam. That was their finisher.
That was called the Bucking Bronco. I don't know what it was called.
It
was a good one.
It was called the Stallion Italian. I don't know.
The
Stallion Slam. So it's just whipping into the ropes. You guys come up with a finisher. All right.
Okay, it's going to be a power slam, but I'm going to whip him for you. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah. Perfect. Get out.
I'll bite it on the neck like a horse does, then hip toss.
Oh my God, you're a stallion.
Beautiful. What a great team. Yeah. What a good thing you guys have created together. Oh, so who are we going over on tonight? You're losing Demolition.
Yeah. Stupid wops.
That's why you asked me about the finisher. We're going to use it. I don't know.
No, not on Demolition. There's no way.
Oh, man. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still going to think of a finishing move, and we're going to post it here. Your thoughts on what the name of the, Young Stallions finisher should have been? The Italian Slammer. I don't know. The Italian...
Stop.
What?
Go to the end.
No. I refuse. Craig, you must partake in this. I don't care how tired and uncomfortable you are. No. You are going to think of a name for this, and it's going to be good.
It'd be Win Place or Show.
He just hangs up.
I think you did it. It's the Win Place or Show.
Oh my God, that would be
and they win.
The Win Place or Show.
I was trying to think of Italian. It's got to have an Italian word in there.
That's actually genius. The Win Place or Show.
It's the Roma Tomato.
And then when they lose, like Montu would just be like, "Oh, they didn't even place brain." Like, and then it'd be a whole play on that. Vince would use it against them.
Their music would just be.
I just want to be clear that my uncomfortable. Yeah, me making you uncomfortable brought you to the height of the comedy of this episode.
And we didn't even talk about it. Well, we didn't even talk about it that much. We were singing it in the beginning. Maybe we were singing it before we record. Their theme music was fucking awesome. The Crank It Up. Yeah, Crank It Up.
Jimmy Hart joined. Yeah.
Even they would do it. So on Primetime Wrestling, they used to do it. And then like Heenan would get mad because Heenan's like, that's Jimmy Hart's song. Like, and so they even like acknowledged on TV that they stole it from Jimmy Hart, which I don't know how you steal a song from him. But yeah, like their song.
And then we were even confusing it ourselves after all these decades with Girls in Cars and Strike Force's music. So it's like that's how our brains are like because it's very similar, like poppy clap as you go down, like shit. Like it only worked with Strike Force, but not for that long either. Yeah.
Who did Jimmy Hart write it for? The Hart Foundation? Can you imagine the Hart Foundation? We were cruising the streets. Jim Neidhart and Bret Hart coming out.
I was cruising, baby. Stupid.
Oh my God.
All right, I just had to get the theme music in there. I'm sorry.
There it is.
We're looking for some action. Got the radio playing, Jimmy, on my rock and roll station.
Oh, damn it.
We saw two hot ladies, didn't we, Anvil? Down by the square. Yeah. Jump in, girls. Let's go party somewhere. Woo.
We'd be doing what happened to...
He rolled out again. Just leave it there. For audio fans, give us a listen to Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And for video, check us out on YouTube at our wrestling channel. And look to your left for several other options. And please give us a follow on Instagram at OW2019 Justin Craig. I'm sorry, not Craig because he rolled out a picture. And myself, this is the O.W.P signing off. Have a good one.